Okay, so I'm using watercolor cakes. You can use tubes as well if you don't have. Also, I'm using we use round brushes for watercolor. I'm using a number 8, which is a little thicker brush, and a size 0, the finer lines. Also, in watercolor, it is very important to leave the places which are white. We do not touch those, we just leave them white. Also, we first spread water where we want to work, and then we take a little bit of a shade and we just leave it on that spot and then just dilute it as per the requirement, right? For example, when we are doing the sky, we just spread the water only over here where we want the color to spread, correct? We do not touch the white spaces.
If there is background noise around you, then please mute your mic. You can unmute it when you want to ask something because it will disturb everybody else. Yeah. Just a request.
Yeah. Also keep a rag or a tissue with you because we'll be using a lot of water. So it'll be handy if you want to wipe your brush or clean it. In watercolor, there's one more thing which is important, that we go very gentle on the shades. For example, because there is a lot of yellow, but the shades which initially we will just go light and then eventually darken the spaces which are required to be darkened. Okay, so we have to be very gentle with the amount of color that we are using. If you use a lot of color and it's not required, we cannot undo the amount of color. In this, there is no correction possible. So if it is less intense, then we can make it darker. So just be a little light in using the color. Okay. So we are starting with the sky. I'm going to start using the blue, the lightest blue in your palette, right? So first of all, I want to wet the brush and spread the water where it's required. Also, one more instruction before we start, that after every half an hour, we are going to wait for say about 5 minutes for people who want to catch up, who have any queries, who want to ask anything, and then go on to the next lab. Okay, so
also in between, if anybody has any questions about the color or about the shade to be used, please unmute your mic and ask. There is no issue. We will be happy to answer or repeat what we said previously.
Excuse me, Akanksha, yeah. We use cobalt blue or French ultramarine?
No, cobalt. Initially cobalt. Yeah, and then we are going to darken it a little with the ultramarine, right?
Okay. Fine.
I have a question here. Would you also instruct what brushes to use?
Yeah, we already mentioned it.
Sorry, I missed it.
No worries. We are using a size 8, which is like a broad, which is like a big round brush. You can use a 7, 8, 9, anything is fine. Basically, it's to cover large areas. And we are using a size 0 or 1, a little thinner round brush basically. Okay. So we'll be using only these 2 brushes. They are enough to finish this painting.
Got it.
Thoda plus minus sizes are fine. Don't stress about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So just observe the way I'm spreading the water so as to get this kind of pattern on the sky. So I start from my right corner, then coming in a little, then moving ahead.
Then can you show me what color you have taken again?
I haven't taken any color. I'm just spreading the water.
The water?
Yes.
Okay.
Just coming in randomly. Then going on to the left side, going over the birds, going on to extreme left of my paint, right? So I have come in a little where the sky is coming down, right? Making sure that there are some white spaces that I have left. I'm going to use the cobalt. Just placing it on the where I left the water. It's just going to spread where I have left the water.
The color will only go where you previously applied water. So wherever you want white spaces to be left, do not apply water there so that it stays white like this. And use very less color. We can always darken it later, but we cannot lighten it. So use less color.
It's possible that your paper will get a little wavy, but don't worry about it. It'll get, once it dries, it'll get okay. Now I'm going to go on to the spar of mountain ranges that you can see here, over here, right? So I'm going to demarcate first with water, this way, right? Then I'm going to leave the part of the smoke which is coming out of the chimney without any water. And then I'm going to just fade it off here till where we want the blue shade to be. Again using the cobalt. We in the next lab, once this coat dries, we are going to darken the hills, the mountains as well as the sky with a little darker shade towards the end when we are winding up. Right now we just want it to be light. Now I'm going to make the small trees that you see far off here. So So randomly make with a smaller brush, with a thinner brush, I'm going to make some impressions. Just see the movement of my brush. It's that way. Please leave a white, we should leave a white band in between the mountain ranges and these trees which we are going to make now. There's a little white there. So now we're going to use a little darker shade. The cobalt and the ultramarine and the next one. Taking water. The trees are starting from here, sorry about that. Here, from this. This is a yellow band, right? Made the correction, please note. A little shadow below this line here, very, very light. For that, I'm going to use the cobalt and a little bit of green. The parrot green and the one next to it. We just want a little color, not much. Just a little shadow this side as well. Just a head up. Is everyone doing fine? Is everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just a tip, in case at any point you feel that there's too much color has come or the color has spread unduly where you don't want it to spread, quickly dab it with the tissue. Only that much correction is possible. All right. So that you can try. But once it dries, it's not going to go away. So I'm again back to my broad brush. Now I'm going to work below this shadow line which we did right now. It's just plain water that I have spread. Okay. Then I'm going to leave a little gap between the water which I spread. We are going to do the water now. So we require a little demarcation between the water and the lower water line. It should not spread on top. So start from the lower end with a little darker shade. The cobalt and all the three you can actually mix, all the three shades which you have in your palette. And your brush should move horizontally. As it goes up, your tone should get lighter, leaving some few white gaps in between. And just go all the way this side.
Which color? Which color?
I have used all three. I've just mixed all three little bit. Okay, all these three: cobalt, ultramarine, and the other shade. Okay. Going to darken a little more. Just note that there are some white spaces where you can see like there are some waves in water. So what we have to do is that when we darken, like I have darkened here, we make sure that we leave some gaps in between and just darken patches in between, leaving some white gaps in between. Okay. Now for a little more darkening, I'm using the Prussian blue, which is here, the darker one. And this particular piece of, this particular portion, I'm going to darken all the way. Adding a little purple which is there next to the Prussian blue to make it very, very dark on the upper side.
I don't have all the shades of blue.
Which ones do you have?
I have only cobalt, ultramarine, and cerulean.
That's fine. Do you have purple?
No. I can make purple with red and blue.
Actually, if you don't have, you can work with these. They work.
Yeah. Okay.
No need to make it fine. Okay, now what we'll do is just wait for a few seconds before this, what we did now dries, because for the next wave, we don't want it to spread, okay, the color. So I'll just go a little dark on the upper side, leaving a little white space. Can everyone see here? See, I've left a little white gap for the wave. There's some on this side as well. Don't forget to leave some white spaces in between. Don't put water on the entire thing. It's going to spread otherwise. You won't have any wave effects. There's some very hazy water effects here on top. Here. Keep them light. Just keep your stroke straight. Huh? When we do water, the stroke should be absolutely straight.
What dark color is this?
Yeah, I'm mixing the darkest in the three, the darkest blue.
Yeah.
And a little purple. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
As it comes on to the left side, it should become lighter.
Everyone doing okay? We are going to halt for 3 minutes for everybody to finish till here, and we are going to have a look at everybody how it's going. So if any of you are done with how much we have done, then just start your video and let's have a look at it.
How do I add?
How do you what?
Add my video.
There'll be an option to start video on the bottom left. So everybody is done with this much, so we are going to continue.
So we are going to first work on the yellows, which is this portion, this, and then work on the greens as we go higher. So applying water over here. Going to use the golden yellow which is there in the palette.
I have a lemon yellow, gamboge hue, and an orange.
So for initially you use lemon yellow, and then you can use a little orange later.
Sorry, I missed. What yellow was this?
Mine is the golden yellow here.
Okay, this one. And
I'm just using the golden yellow initially. Then I'm going to use orange and darken the spaces which are like over here, these effects.
all right, okay.
I have a lemon yellow and a yellow ochre.
No, use lemon yellow, not the ochre. Please mark the movement of the brush because I want some random effects. So I'm just like dabbing my brush on the paper. We don't want a very uniform coat. Okay, so while this portion is drying, we are going to make the trees over here. So to take the same yellow, those people who don't have golden yellow, they can take lemon yellow and orange, little bit. And please mark the kind of strokes that I'm doing. There should be water in your brush.
So we are using zero brush, right?
Yes. There are little orange touches on the boat. Some highlights. You can do those on top of the yellow which you have done.
Is it the boat or the land?
The land, sorry, land.
Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, no, land, sorry.
I don't have an orange, so I can mix a bit of red in the yellow and use it.
Yes, you can. I'm going to start highlighting the bushes which are near the cottage. Like I said, that we have a yellow on the background, and now we're going to highlight the dry grass kind of effects with the orange. Those who don't have orange, you can mix yellow and red. If you have orange, you can use orange along with the same yellow which you have used in the background. Please have a little water in your brush. Don't put dry strokes. Otherwise it won't merge with the background. This part has to be quite light because the part below that is darker than this. So if you make this very dark, then the lower portion will be very, very dark. There's a little highlight on top over here. So you can go with the same shade till about this place, where then begin the darker patches. So the yellow patches are right close to the person who's standing. So if you haven't covered, just cover those as well. As high as where he's standing. After this, there's little more darker patches over here of some wild grass. I'm going to use this light brown, these two shades. There are three browns, not the darkest brown. There is a what we call Indian red and a burnt sienna close to that. So I'm going to use those and highlight a little bit over here. When you're doing this, don't use too much water, otherwise the strokes will get diluted.
What are you using? Burnt sienna.
These two, there are three browns in the cakes if you see. Okay, so this must be Indian red, this must be burnt sienna. So I'm using these two, not the darkest one, which is like burnt umber.
Yeah.
As you go down, the yellow patch, you just have to kind of use a little water, and here there are specific strokes, like some wild grass growing. Here it's generally, we are just breaking the monotony of the yellow, which we have done, giving the same tone basically all over here. The same shade behind the trees, a lot more prominent, because that's on the other side of the trees, so it has to be a bit dark. We are going to use dark brown on the shade that we are doing right now to get shadowy patches. That's going to be the highlight. This is the groundwork for that. The same little highlights on this side of the land here. Using the darkest brown, which is a burnt umber, the darkest brown in your palette. And now I'm going to work on the lower portion, this over here, this portion. The strokes are going to be like grass growing, so vertical strokes. Now you don't have to use too much water, because now we want the strokes to be bold, which are coming onto the yellow patch. Please mark the movement of the brush. The lower portion is quite dark, so you don't have to worry about not darkening that portion. And then from that portion, all the grass shoots, we have to show the effect. This portion is going to be quite dark, the lower part. The corner, the leftmost corner is quite dark. So using the darkest brown in the palette. Also using a little black. Using black also along with the brown to just highlight the corner. These strokes are inwards. Near the tree, it's a lot dark. Okay. Everyone doing fine? The lower periphery is quite dark. Huh? Please use black with brown. Like over here.
Is this fine?
Okay, let's see. 1 second. तेरे को 4 आइटम टोटल आ रहे हैं. नहीं, पिछली बार उन्होंने एक्सचेंज करा था, इसलिए बाद में ले लिया था, पर इस बार वो बाद में ले लेते हैं. आप उसको बोले एक ऊपर है, 3 आप ले जाओ और एक पर ले जाओ. चलेगा ना? हाँ, उसको बोल 3 जो है वो आप ले जाओ, एक बाकी है ऊपर ले जाओ. When you are doing these dark strokes down below, don't use too much water. Do not get otherwise the effect. Everyone doing fine? Hope so. A lot more groups coming onto the water, near the water. So they're like small grass. Go on to the water for a distance. There's some grass type thing coming, the wild grass coming on near the edge. The brush has to like move when there is wild grass. Brush has to quickly move like that. That's how it looks. It looks natural then. It's taking out some random strokes. And now a little up over here above water. The direction has to be straight now. Even if you are going on a little higher, direction has to be straight. And you have to start giving some highlights right from this side. From here. It has to look kind of connected. So some highlights here with the dark. With the dark brown, I'm doing the highlights on the patch which we darkened earlier. Should look like. These are some very small strokes here where the person is. Should look as if he's standing in a lot of wild grass. Then go on to highlighting here. Then the stroke should come on the inner side from this side under the boat. I'm going on a little bit onto the water. Some small strokes. Then just finishing the edge of this grass patch, light yellow patch which we have done. It should look open-ended. Then making some rough lines here. Okay, now on to the this part where we see, which is near the boat, almost in front of the water. This you have to assume that the grass is straight. Don't bend it as per the slope. So I'm using black as well as brown, both, for this. All this highlight stuff. All right, we'll wait for 5 minutes for everyone to catch on in case you have any query, and then we'll proceed. Now we'll proceed further since everyone is done with this portion. We are going to do all the trees which are there in the background over here, all these, the greenery, right? And in the end, we are going to just do the birds and the highlights of the house. So far off trees which are there behind the cottage. So what we'll do is we are going to use this green which is there, the viridian green, what they call the dark green, but we require a little dull green, so we will mix ochre in it. Okay, this is very bright. This green is extremely bright, this one. So we'll add a little ochre in it so it becomes a little dull. And the highlights are going to do with the yellow. Those who don't have the golden yellow, they can use lemon yellow. I'm going to use the golden yellow, which is a little more on the orange side. So first, let's use the green, the darkest green, which is there in the palette, and the yellow ochre. Okay, and the effects are going to be something like this. The trees are far off, so your strokes are should be very gentle, starting with a little yellowish green on top and then going darker as you come close to the smoke line. Okay, so using the zero brush, we require very delicate strokes, so we'll use a very thin brush. There's some, they look somewhat like the Christmas trees, right? So the strokes have to be essentially like a plus to bring it into very simple terms. Just mark the way I'm moving the brush. Just once more for you. The top has to be a very sharp tip for it to look very natural. Don't forget to leave white spaces in between these branches which we are going to work on. And they have to be, as far as possible, just keep them straight. As you go down, you add a green shade into it. Also, don't make them all same size, okay? Some can be taller, then suddenly some can be a little shorter in between the whole range. Then again, there can be a taller one. That way it looks more natural. Don't forget to leave a few white gaps in between. Don't make it like a block. Just keep it a little, as you can see, there are some white gaps here. Just leave those randomly. I'm still mixing the ochre and the green for darker green effects. And then where there are some yellow patches, I'm using the yellow, which I said earlier, the lemon yellow for people who don't have golden. Otherwise, the golden yellow. As we go closer to the cottage, below the smoke line, it gets darker, the green, okay? If you have drawn the branches of the trees, already drawn them, then just leave a little small white line before you cover the entire thing green. Okay. If you have drawn these, then leave the white line for the branches.
Yeah. Now, which color are we doing?
We are continuing. The trees are right till here, right? Sorry.
Okay, so we're continuing the trees.
Yeah, the full range, right? Till
Okay.
here. And darker towards the lower border. Have you seen I'm leaving white branches?
Yes, sir.
So just leave those white.
Yes, sir.
I didn't leave.
Okay, that doesn't matter. You can make them with black later. Since you haven't left, white so we cannot retrieve later. So if you haven't
Only on one side I didn't leave, the rest I'm leaving.
okay, good. The side which you didn't leave, you can just highlight with black. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
इसी बंद क्यों हो गया? क्या?
कौन बता रहे हैं?
चार्जिंग पे लगा पीछे.
भाभी राजमा दिया वो कह रहे हैं बच्चे
दिखाओ. सानवी जरा प्लीज साइन कर दो, बेटा पर्ची जरा डीजल की.
Can I do the whole thing with that branches with black only?
Yeah, you can.
Because I'm finding that.
Yeah, I know it's a bit tricky, and you can make it black. It's okay. It's the same thing. You're just highlighting the branches basically. As you go down on the tree side, just make it darker the shade, because that's not in the light, it's in the shadow, the lower portion. If you don't have a dark brown, you can even add black in the green.
My iPad is dying. Can you join me? And I've opened my phone on the phone Zoom.
Yeah, done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
making his boat also green. Assume it's his boat. Assuming it's his boat. Giving little dark effects on the boat with brown. And a little black.
Which green?
The viridin green and yellow, so that you don't get a very leaf green kind of a bright green. We require a dull green, so I've added yellow in the green, right? Or ochre you can add if you have. And the two sails which are there with black.
Sorry, you did it green on the board, and after that, what color you highlighted it? Like with dark.
You can do it with dark brown, and in case it doesn't show, you can add a little black in it. Okay.
Okay.
First, let's do the trunks of the trees with black. So let's start with the one which is near the boat. जो बोट के पास है उसकी तो सिर्फ आउटलाइन है, ठीक है. Then थोड़ी सी आउटलाइन you do a little highlight on the chimney. थोड़े से उसके edges अगर टेढ़े मेढ़े हुए हो तो सीधे कर देना with black. उसके बाद I'm going to do the trees which are onto the my left side of the behind the cottage. उसकी भी ऊपर से जो है from top they are dark. As we come down, only on the sides it's highlighted with black. So you can do that. So I'm starting with from top. For those of you who haven't left the white branches, you can make the branches dark black.
Just the line, na?
Yeah. I'm working with a little shade on the roof of the hut. You can first spread some water.
Should I do the other tree also? The outline?
Yeah, you can. So spread a little water. Then you can add some shades randomly, like a little orange and a little greenish, a little brownish probably, this brown, the lighter brown. And just add it in vertical fashion, how the roof is. It'll look nicer, like vertical strokes. And it's not all over, so just keep it light. A little random shade of a blue, maybe somewhere here. The shades on the roof are not really defined, so we have to just put some shades, highlighting. That's just about it. And a little green on the wall here. The lighter green, which we will highlight with the black a little later, when we're just about to like finish with the highlights. Also, there's a little tiny shadow, slant shadow. Use a small brush from here onto the windows, and it's a slant shadow, which is yellowish, orangish shadow. Okay. Now a little clothes on this person. He's wearing a reddish, orangish shirt, and some highlights on his clothes. Wearing a black pant. And some hair. Or, yeah. And the bag he's carrying. Just make it a little brown. So that's about, there is a little tone on the front here, dirty tone on the wall. That's all. And now I'm going to just do the highlights of the cottage with black. So beginning with the roof. Just the outline. Bye. See. The windows. If you have marked the birds, then you can just mark the outline. with size 0 brush. The birds. They're very far, so they have to be very, very small, your markings.